What if I told you that the crushing fatigue, brain fog, and constant bloating you wake up with every morning isn't just part of getting older, but actually several kilograms of toxic, impacted waste that's been accumulating in your intestines for months, maybe even years? After age 60, many of us are unknowingly carrying around 5 kilograms, that's 11 pounds, of hardened stool that's literally poisoning our system from the inside out. And here's the shocking truth your doctor probably hasn't told you. This hidden burden is the real reason you feel decades older than you actually are. I know this struggle better than anyone. Have you ever felt like no matter what you eat, how much water you drink, or how many fiber supplements you take, your digestion just won't improve? You've probably tried everything on the market: expensive probiotics, harsh laxatives, special diets, and none of it worked. That's because most healthcare professionals don't take constipation seriously enough, treating it like a joke when it's actually a dangerous condition that directly affects your quality of life and can even put your life at risk. But here's what's about to change everything. In the next 16 minutes, I'm going to reveal a doctor-approved 4-ingredient protocol that has helped thousands of seniors release this toxic buildup in just 1 hour. No harsh chemicals, no expensive treatments, no leaving your home. Plus, I'll expose the 4 critical warning signs that mean you need to act immediately, because when your stool becomes hard as a rock, you could be heading toward a life-threatening condition called toxic megacolon. The truth is, you don't need to add more complicated routines to your life to fix this. You just need to use the right approach. So if you're ready to understand why your body has been fighting against you and discover the simple solution that could make you feel 20 years younger starting today, keep watching, because what comes next could save your life. Why? The system slows down. Your intestines move food through something called peristalsis. It's just a wave-like squeezing motion, muscles contracting in sequence, pushing everything along. After about 60, that process starts to slow down, not because the body is broken, just because things change. You're probably moving less than you used to. Maybe you're sitting more. Maybe walking hurts a little, so you don't walk as far. All of that affects digestion. Movement on the outside helps movement on the inside. Then there's water. Most people over 60 are drinking less water than they think, not because they're careless, just because the thirst signal gets quieter as you age. You don't feel thirsty, so you don't drink. And then medications. This is where it gets complicated. If you're taking blood pressure medication or something for pain, or even calcium supplements, a lot of those have side effects that dry things out. Your mouth might feel dry, your skin might feel dry, and your intestines, same thing. Anticholinergics, diuretics, calcium channel blockers, those are some of the main ones, and nobody tells you this is going to happen because, again, there's not much time in a regular checkup to go over every side effect. So here's what happens. The colon's job is to pull water back out of the waste before it leaves the body. But the longer waste sits there, the more water gets pulled out, and the drier it gets, the harder it gets. Some people describe it as feeling like there's a rock in there. That's not an exaggeration. And when waste just sits, it's not neutral. It's not like leaving a bag of trash in the corner. It's more like leaving food out. Things start to break down in ways they're not supposed to. Toxins get reabsorbed. Your liver has to work harder. Your immune system gets stretched thin. That's why people feel tired, why they wake up foggy, why their sleep doesn't feel restful. It's not mysterious. It's just not explained very often. Actually, I was reading about this the other day and my coffee went cold halfway through. I hate cold coffee, but I kept reading because it was the first time someone had laid it out in a way that made sense. Not scary, just clear. Anyway, when to pay attention, most constipation is just inconvenient, uncomfortable. But there are times when it's signaling something else. If you're constantly bloated, especially after eating, that's worth noticing. If you have bad breath that won't go away no matter what you do, that can be a sign. If you're only passing small, hard pieces like little pellets, that's your body telling you something's stuck. Now, there are also red flags, things that mean you need to talk to a doctor soon, not eventually. Blood in your stool, even a little bit, even if you think it's just hemorrhoids. It might be, but you need to check. Unexplained weight loss. If you've lost 10 pounds or more without trying, that's something to investigate. Feeling extremely weak or dizzy and your doctor says your iron is low. Iron deficiency anemia can have a lot of causes, and some of them are serious. Severe pain that doesn't go away. In rare situations, severe constipation can lead to something called toxic megacolon, where the colon swells up, or fecal impaction, where waste forms a hard blockage that won't move on its own. But those are rare. For most people, it's not a disease. It's just a system that needs help, and that's what we're going to talk about now. The flush protocol. There's a method some people use when they're really backed up. It's not subtle. It's not gentle in the sense that you're going to forget it happened, but it works for a lot of people. It's called a salt flush. Some people call it the fast flush, whatever you call it. The idea is the same. You're using 4 ingredients to basically wake up your digestive system and push everything through. Here's what you need. 1 liter of warm water, not hot, not cold, warm, about the temperature of tea that's been sitting for a minute. 2 teaspoons of sea salt or Himalayan salt, the kind with minerals still in it. The juice from half a lemon. Fresh is better, but honestly, bottled works if that's what you have. 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk powder. Now here's how it works. The warm water signals your system that it's time to move. The salt creates osmotic pressure, which is a fancy way of saying it pulls water into your colon. That softens everything up. The lemon stimulates bile release, which helps lubricate the tract. And the psyllium husk, that's fiber. It absorbs water, swells up, and acts like a broom sweeping through. You mix it all together in a big glass or a shaker bottle, stir it fast, and drink it fast. I mean really fast. Because within 30 seconds, the psyllium starts to gel. And if it gels before you drink it, you're going to have a very unpleasant texture situation. Most people see results in 30 to 60 minutes, sometimes sooner. You're going to want to be near a bathroom, and the first movement might be intense. That's normal. You're releasing stuff that's been sitting for a while. I tried to explain this to someone once and fumbled the order of the ingredients. Had to stop and start over. It's not complicated, but when you're talking fast, it's easy to mix things up. Anyway, just follow the order. Water, salt, lemon, psyllium, mix, drink, done. What the experts say. Dr. Eric Berg talks about this a lot. He's big on natural health approaches. One thing he emphasizes is that any kind of flush, even a gentle one, pulls electrolytes out of your system. Sodium, potassium, magnesium. Those are the big 3. And if you don't replace them, you're going to feel off, weak, maybe dizzy. Your heart rhythm can even get irregular if it's bad enough. So after you do something like this, you need to replenish. Coconut water is good. A banana. Some bone broth with a little sea salt. A magnesium supplement if you have one. Long term, Dr. Berg recommends things like a low-carb or ketogenic diet because it reduces inflammation. And inflammation is one of the things that slows digestion down. He also talks about intermittent fasting. Giving your digestive system a 12 to 16-hour break lets it focus on cleaning itself out instead of constantly processing new food. Dr. Leslie Kernison, she's a geriatrician, makes a really useful distinction between maintenance and rescue. Maintenance is what you do every day to keep things moving. Rescue is what you do when you're already stuck. The flush we just talked about, that's rescue. You don't want to rely on it because if you do it too often, your body starts to depend on it. Your natural reflexes get lazy. What you really want is a maintenance routine, something sustainable, something your body can handle long term. And that's where most people get confused. They think it's one or the other. but it's both. You use rescue when you need it, and you build maintenance so you don't need rescue as often. Warm water, first thing in the morning. Before coffee, before food, just one glass of warm water. It wakes up your digestive system. Simple, but it works. Oat kissel. This is an Eastern European thing. You simmer oats in water, strain out the oats, and drink the liquid. It soothes the gut lining, tastes bland, but that's kind of the point. Prunes and kefir before bed. 4 or 5 prunes with half a cup of kefir. Prunes have sorbitol, which is a natural laxative. Kefir provides probiotics. Together, they're surprisingly effective. Flaxseed infusion. Soak ground flax seeds in water overnight. Drink it in the morning. High in fiber, high in omega-3s. A raw salad with beetroot and carrot, grated fine. Add a little apple, olive oil, lemon juice. The fiber scrubs your intestinal walls. It's not a pleasant image, but it's accurate. Herbal teas, fennel, peppermint, ginger. They relax the muscles in your intestines and reduce bloating. Castor oil packs. Soak a cloth in castor oil. Put it on your abdomen. Cover it with plastic wrap and a heating pad. Leave it for 30 minutes. It stimulates movement from the outside. Walking and deep breathing. Even just 10 minutes. Movement helps. Deep breaths massage your internal organs. Psyllium hydration. If you take psyllium regularly, you need to drink a lot of water with it, at least 8 glasses a day. Otherwise, it can make things worse, not better. Epsom salt baths, 2 or 3 times a week. 2 cups of Epsom salts in a warm bath. Your skin absorbs the magnesium, which relaxes your intestinal muscles. Start small. Add one thing at a time. See what your body responds to. Practical adjustments. There are a few mechanical tricks that make a bigger difference than you'd think. Get a toilet stool. You've probably seen them. The Squatty Potty is the most well-known brand. It's just a little stool that goes in front of your toilet. You put your feet on it. Here's why it works. When you sit normally, your rectum has a natural bend in it. It's like a kinked hose, but when you elevate your feet, you move into more of a squatting position. That straightens the bend. Waist moves easier. It sounds too simple to matter, but millions of people swear by it. Never ignore the urge to go. This one's huge. Every time you suppress that signal, you're training your body to ignore it. Over time, the signal gets weaker. Eventually, it stops coming. Your vagus nerve controls that communication, and if you keep telling it, "not now," it stops asking. Increase fiber slowly. Everyone says eat more fiber, and that's true. But if you go from 10 grams a day to 30 grams overnight, you're going to be miserable. Gas, bloating, cramps. Add 5 grams a week. That gives your gut bacteria time to adjust. After a cleanse, support your gut with fermented foods. Sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt with live cultures, miso soup. Your gut is like a blank slate after a flush. That's the perfect time to seed it with good bacteria. There was this faint smell of vinegar in the kitchen the other day. Took me a minute to realize it was the sauerkraut jar I'd opened earlier. Funny how smells linger like that. Anyway, I'm Daniel Torres, and I'm here for you. Please share the problems you're experiencing with me in the comments below. I read every comment one by one. I really do. Maybe you've been struggling with constipation for years. Maybe you tried one of these methods and it worked. Or maybe you still have questions you're looking for answers to. Whatever it is, write it down here. I will respond to you. Because this isn't just a video, this is a community. And we're all moving toward the same goal, feeling better, feeling healthier. Now scroll down and write to me. I'm waiting for you. What this really means. Constipation isn't a personality trait. It's not just how you are now. It's a signal that something in your system needs adjustment. Most of the time, it's fixable, not overnight, but with small, consistent changes. Start with warm water in the morning. Add an evening walk. See how you feel after a week. Then add something else if you need to. The truth is, your body knows how to do this. It's been doing it your whole life. Sometimes it just needs a little help getting back on track. And if nothing changes after a few weeks, or if you're seeing those red flags we talked about earlier, talk to your doctor. Not because you're in danger, just because there might be something else going on that's worth checking. But for most people, it's not complicated. It's just about giving your body what it needs. If this made sense to you, feel free to subscribe. We're here every week with more information like this. No hype, just what actually works. And if you've tried any of these things, let me know in the comments. I'm curious what people's experience has been. You deserve to feel good, not perfect, just good. And most of the time, that's more achievable than you think. Take care. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Do not start any new health routine without talking to your doctor, especially if you have existing medical conditions or take prescription medications. Results vary by individual.